What up, world? It's your boy Big Willie, aka the Pack Mac. I hope you are having a great day. Once again, I am blessed and happy to see you. Happy to see 42. Oh my goodness. And we are finally back with the Deck Tech Friday. Um, it's taking a moment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in my slump. My partner in crime, Toski, who you all know, he decided to loan me one of my favorite decks of his, and that is Prosper Tomebound. And we're gonna go through it and go through the deck and talk about some of the things that I would do a little differently, but for the most part, like this deck is stacked. This deck does its job whenever it does it. Like it either does its thing or it spins its wheels. He knows what I'm talking about because it's like sometimes he gets to the point where he got to make some good, better decisions. It's all good though. It's all good because it ain't like we playing for like money or anything yet. Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to it. So we got Prosper Tomebound. He is a legendary tiefling warlock for 2 black and a red. Got Death Touch. He's 1/4. His abilities are Mystic Arcanum at the beginning of your end step. Exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. And then he also has Packed Boon. Whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. So the whole goal is to play stuff from exile, whether it's yours or your opponent's, and be able to just get treasures and get value. And usually he can outvalue a lot of people pretty quickly if things go his way. So let's go ahead and go through the artifacts. He's got Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere, Crawl Space. Crawl Space is a really, really good artifact that I don't see many people running as much more, but I think it's very good for what it is because of the fact that a lot of I know it's probably not a CDH thing because CDH you're probably winning in some other ways, either instant win con or some type of damage loop or something, or going infinite. This is more of a hey, look, in more lower power formats, Crawl Space is really good. It's something that I would definitely suggest considering in some spaces because it's pretty much what's the word it's like propaganda good. You know what I'm saying? It's like propaganda for any color if you're playing against people that are combat heavy. So hey, it's a good thing. No more than 2 creatures can attack you. That limits the options of you getting killed. Damping Sphere, really, really good card that I think a lot more people need to play because if I see this across the table for me, it frustrates me. Because of my lands that add more than 1 mana. You know what I'm saying? And that's for a lot of things. But that it's one of them and then also on top of that with I hardly ever see him get this out. But also with the each spell player cast costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that player's cast this turn. Putting an anti-storm count if you get my drift, you know what I'm saying? That's a really good card. Good card that a lot of people run. Soul Ring, Soul Talisman. I get why. In fact, I think I actually told him to put this in here for for the Cascade reasons, but I'm also just man, it sucks when you get this off of Prosper because you can't suspend it. And you can't cast it. So it's Nombo. There's another card like that in here too. But it's still good. If you happen to get lucky and get that out, And Swift Foot Boots, hey, if you can't have the Jordans, you got the Air Force Ones, you know what I'm saying? We got Academy Manufacturer, which is just the value engine with Prosper. Get all the treasures, get all the food, get all the clues, Bergie, another value engine that just Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brain Stealer Dragon. Brain Stealer Dragon's one of them like low key like hate to see that card come out. I don't know about you. I know me. Like whenever people take my things, I tend to get really, really, really frustrated. Um, and this is one of them. Like, hey, you're taking my things. I don't like that. you know. So I mean, Braid Stealer Dragon, especially like you usually play that like turn like 5 or 6, because of like the whole just Prosper getting them all these treasures and all the other stuff in this deck. It's dumb. It's frustrating. It's really, really good though. Defiler Instinct, low key, really, really good in this deck because like, hey, you can sit there and just pay 2 life. You can Phyrexia one of the red mana, one of the red pips, and that's pretty decent. And then whenever you cast a red permanent spell, hey, you get to ping something. Not bad, not bad. Give it Death Touch. Watch what happens. Disciple of the Vault. Oh my goodness. Disciple of the Vault had to be in here. And of course, yeah, Marionette Master. All he needs is Baby Marionette in here. And I bet you there's something he could replace for that in this deck. But we're not going to go through that. Elder Brain. Elder Brain. Frustrating Elder Brain. Great card. Great card for this deck. Atali, we already know what it is. And, you just get like, it's like, hey, look, I get Atali out. I attack with it. If I Prosper out, I'm going to get 4 treasures. Maybe 3 or 2, depending on if somebody gets lands. But it's like value. Value. This is value town. Gix. Now, I haven't seen him do the ultimate with Gix in this yet. But definitely it's something to keep him gassed up if he needs to get gas, which is really good. Grim Hireling card is highly underrated. It's so good. So good. So good. Get more treasures. Ingenious Artillerist. So here's another one of his like little win conditions because, hey, he pretty much gets a ton of treasures. And if he has his Artillerist out, it's just going to just sit there and I'm just gonna get value, and then you got like Disciple of All or Marionette Master, and it's just like, yeah, like nobody know. Like the card is really, really good. Intellect Devourer. Whenever Intellect Devourer enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until Intellect Devourer leaves the battlefield. You may play land cards and cast spells from among those cards. Exile with Intellect Devourer. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana or mana of any color to cast it. Frustrating. Once again, like we always got like there's always a thing, which I don't know if y'all running. I know in paper and in person, especially in person, like having different color sleeves and different types of sleeves like really, really helps because like when you steal other people's things with like stuff like Intellect Devourer and all these other cards, it's like, hey, if I got to keep them for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And then you just flip over the deck afterwards and just like, okay, here's your stuff back. Here's your stuff back. Because that happens to him a lot with this deck. 90% of the time, he's stealing everybody's stuff. And it's just like, frustrates me. It frustrates me. Lilia, of course, we're playing stuff from Exile, so and also he's putting stuff into Exile, so it's like Lilia is just gonna just get him value. Like that's like the partner commander kind of sort of. Nobilia, Defender of Bagan. I haven't even seen him play this card yet. Let me see what that does. 2 and a black, legendary halfling. Whenever it enters battlefield, look at the top card of each opponent's library and exile those cards face down. Ooh. Sacrifice an artifact. Choose one. Until in the turn, you may play a card. Exile with Lobelia without paying its mana. Ooh. Okay. I see that. I see you. I see you, bro. You need to put a What's that card in here? That's like stupid dumb. Conjurer's Closet. Like, but then you can also sit there and, oh, yeah, Lability, okay. Yeah, but still Conjurer's Closet, so you can keep doing it. Keep doing the thing. Julie, do the thing. Marionette Master, of course. I think he still needs to put Baby Marionette in here. Merquabats, of course. Nadir's Nightblade, like, there's a thing. There's a scheme here. Nefarious Imp, it's not bad for what it is because, like, you sack a treasure. Hey, look, scribe. Yo, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get what we need. Ogier Axonal. I was about to say Ogier Pot Peak. That's a whole different one. One of the other O'Hares. If red source you control will deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ogier Axonal's power to an opponent, that source deals damage equal to his power instead. So all your ones become fours for red sources, and that's really good. I actually got a buddy of mine who actually has a commander with him as the commander, and it's really good. It's a hot deck. I would like to check that out and pick that deck's brain, if you will. Non-creature spells you cast from exile have Convoke. I mean, obviously, and then you can sit there and kind of like semi-loot. I mean, but you got to choose one. It's not bad. I think it's mainly for the non-creature spells you cast from exile have Convoke, which is really, really good. Professional Facebreaker. Picasso, hey, let's figure out every way we can get more treasures. Yo, we're gonna get there. Screaming Nemesis. Card is stupid good. The card is one of them kill on sight cards. There's a reason why it is $35. Oh my goodness. And he got that for like nothing. Storm Killing Artist. Hey, Magecraft, hey, making more treasures. And plus, we're already making a lot of treasures. So when he plays them, it's 90% chance it's going to be like a 7-2 at minimum. Like, at minimum. Like, there's too many artifacts in this deck and too many, like, things to do it. Trailblazing Historian, hey, we're going to give somebody haste, in case if I don't have my Tuck Rubble Fort, and Wild Magic Sorcerer. Hey, whenever he's always playing stuff from exile. So, like, why not cascade into something better? Let's see. For the enchantments. Now, this enchantment, I personally got him, which is Charred Foyer and Warped Space. At the beginning of your upkeep, for a Charred Foyer, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library when you play it this turn. And then for Warped Space, once per turn, you may pay 0 rather than pay a mana cost of a spell you cast from exile. He's always casting stuff from exile. So, like, why wouldn't you, want to be able to, like, cast one of them for free and give you something else to cast from exile? Like, it's so good. Dead Man's Chest. Whenever enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast spells from among those cards as long as they remain exile. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast those spells. Like, hey, put it on your big guy, kill your big guy, exile that many cards from your deck, and now I have those as well as my weapon. He wants to play your stuff. He doesn't want to play. He will play his own stuff too, but he wants to play your stuff. Commander creatures you own have whenever you cast a spell from exile, that this creature deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to target opponent. Like, this deck is dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. Power balance. Hey, whenever opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. If the two spells have the same mana value, like, so good, so good, so good. Rising of the Day. Speaking of, like, cards that have been, like, just power crapped. Fervor, which costs the same amount and is a rare. As far as the mana cost, it's an enchantment. And it just says creatures you control have haste. And this is like creatures you control have haste, but also legendary creatures you control get +1/+0, which, as you see over in the list, like there's a good chunk of them. Plus, like it'll make Prosper a 2/4 instead of a 1/4, just on the jump. Like, like Rising of the Day is an uncommon. So, like, I mean, that's just power creep. Power creep is kind of like, it's not really even power creep. It's like, yo, like this card used to be like, oh my god, like Fervor used to be something. Now it's like, well, we can do that in uncommon. You know, share the spoils. This card is frustrating. Um, Great card, great card, great card. Usually, and 90% of the time, you play share the spoils against me. Whatever card is under there, if I don't need it, like it's like I will mess with the pile if I absolutely have to. Otherwise, that enjoy what you give for me, because I'm not trying to give you more of my stuff. Like 90%, like you can ask, like Toski can attest to this. Every time we play share the spoils, I rarely play out of the spoils. And it's like, because I'm like, I just don't want to give you any of my stuff. I don't want to give you, like, it's like you got one thing from me. Cool. Keep that. Because every time you play something, you have to add back to the pile. And I don't feel like doing that. I don't like the look of it. Tavern Brawler. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. This creature gets plus X plus O until end of turn, where X is that mana value. You may play that card this turn. Another way to just, hey, look, my commander is going to exile another card for me to play, and as well as, pump my commander up, and maybe make him like a threat, an extra threat. There and back again. It's a saga, does too much stuff. Main thing he wants to do is create Smaug. So that way, when it dies, it creates 14 treasure tokens. Just ah. Of course, instance, mostly removal, which is good. But Devil, blow something up. Venomous Blast, 4 damage to something, and Cascade. Chaos Warp. We all know what Chaos Warp does. Commune with Lava. Exile the top X cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. It's not bad, not bad. Deadly Derision. This is the one card I would sit there and say, hey, we could do a little bit better. Yes, it destroys a creature or planeswalker. Yes, it creates treasure. So, it's kind of like you get refunded for the, instead of running Hero's Downfall, which is 1 mana less. I do think that, and like mainly in our group that we play with a lot, most of our groups that we play with a lot, planeswalkers are rarely a problem. And I think that he should switch it out for the Duskborn uncommon, the one that's 2 and a black that blows up an enchantment or creature, because enchantments are almost always a problem. Just gonna throw that out there, bro. That's one of the cards I would definitely switch out. Hurl Through Hell, I seen him do some dumb things with that. There was something with an Aladdin the last time we played, and he was just like, yeah, I'm going to hurl through hell this Aladdin so that way I can recast it again. And I'm like, okay. Im's Mischief, oh, man. Change the target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's mana value. Good card, good card. Lightning Bolt, obvious. Things are obvious. Poison the Cup, when you exploit it, it's exile. Just gonna throw that out there. And it's also another source of removal. Like I said, most of this is all removal. Rakdos Charm can win games out of nowhere. Terminate, of course. Thrilling Encore, the best Wrath insurance, in my opinion. Because, like, if somebody wraths and you just sit there and you're just like, hey, Thrilling Encore. Come, gather round. gather round. And you find some prisoners. Yes, it could blow up an artifact, but we ain't trying to do all that. Because 90% of the time, he's interrogating somebody, usually me. And exiling the top 3 cards of my library, and he picks one of them, and the other 2 just stay exiled. So, like, and he could play until the end of his next turn. He could play that card and spend manas over any color to cast it. Like, just dumb. Just dumb uncommon. You exile 3 cards for 2. Like, dumb. Okay, so now we've got our Planeswalkers, which, okay, now I see why Jaya's in here. Because I'm like, I never see him play Jaya. And it's like, okay. I mean, it exiles 2 cards. You can create a 1/1 red monk token with prowess. Yeah, he hardly ever plays that card. I believe that could be replaced for something. Now, the Chandra Torch of Defiance, however, that one's good. That one, because when you exile the card, you can either cast it. If you don't, 2 damage to each opponent, which you're fine with that, or 2 red, And the ultimate is ultimate. I mean, like, the ultimate here for Jaya is pretty good too, but I don't know. I don't think he needs Jaya that much. Let's go down to these sorceries. Dance Macabre, each player sacrifices a non-token creature. Roll a d20 to add the toughness of the creature you sacrifice this way. 1 through 14, put a creature card that was put into the graveyard this way onto the battlefield under your control. Return 2 creature cards put into the graveyard this way under your control. So, like, yeah, if you roll 15 plus. So, not bad. I was considering that for Mr. House, and I decided against it because 90% of the time whenever I play, if I do that, the non-token creature I would have out most of the time is Mr. House, which would not get me the value, of the rolling the d20. So it's like, great card, but yeah, no, it wasn't that good for me. Exsanguinate is his new win condition that thanks to me, because I be blessing people like that. Blessed him with the full art one. But like this used to be back in the day, like this used to be a $12 card uncommon, and then it got reprinted finally, which I'm okay with that. I think it should have gotten reprinted a long time ago, but it finally got reprinted, and it's really good. And it's a really, really good card. Even if you're doing it not to finish people, but just to get you back in the game, because doing X is 10 and doing 10 damage to everybody and gaining 30 life. Yeah. Feed the Swarm, like I said, was outclassed by that other uncommon that we were talking about. Fevered Suspicions. Another theft card, and it rebounds. Oh my goodness. Frustrates me. From the Catacombs. Put target creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with the corpse counter on it. You take the initiative. Funny story. I was like, when he played that, and he was like, "Oh man," and he didn't have the initiative. I'm like, "Bro, you need to have the initiative on you." Like, I went and found him a good foil copy of him and gave it to him, which is in the deck now. And it's in there with this token, so that way now he always has a copy of the initiative. I'm like, I'm not gonna play something that's gonna do the initiative without having an initiative token without me, But then again, we got the internet and phones now, so it's like, hey, you should have that on hand. Oh my goodness. Gamble. We all know what Gamble does. It's tutor. Ignite the Future. Exile the top 3 cards of your library until on the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. If this spell was cast from a graveyard, you may play those cards without paying this. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, you may play those cards this way without paying a mana cost. Really, really good. Really good. Into the Fire. I'm now realizing something that's not in this deck, and I'm surprised because I know he has one. And I'm wondering where it's at, which I'm gonna call him out on it because I know he's gonna see this, and he better see this. Where's your Jeska's will, bro? Oh man, it's a little baby wrath that could like get rid of like a bunch of tokens at one time, but he's usually doing the other thing: put any number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of your library, draw that many cards plus one. Prisoner's Dilemma. That card is annoying and it's good, but it's annoying. It's just annoying. It's like um what's the one like because like every time like it took like one time getting caught and taking 12, and from now on, like I'm just letting you know, like the first time you may want to talk to me about this, and we can have a conversation, and we can sit there and agree to choose silence. But like some of y'all, some of y'all just don't know how to coordinate. So I'm like that. Oh, it takes one time because I know there's a group of my people that play this game that play with me that have played this card against me, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, it ain't happening to me again. I'm not taking 12. I'd rather us all take 8. I'm not taking 12. Like y'all, some. And it was crazy because like the one person who was talking to me about agreeing also chose to snitch, and I was just like, yeah. Yeah, this card is funny, and it really it's. If you want to test your play groups out, play that card. Play that card. Like, oh, Profane Tutor. I know it was another reason why it's in here because he's got the Throws of Chaos to Cascade. You know, want to play it from exile and all that stuff, and then suspending it, playing it from exile. So it's like, hey, look, yo, not bad, not bad. And then Throws of Chaos, yeah. But Jeska's will. Like if there's the like that, even over that enchantment card, Jeska's will. Like why is that not in this deck? Like that does everything you want it to do. Like everything. Just saying, bro. And I know you're probably like, man, you know, you're right. Because I know you have one. So, anyways, the land we got Tainted Peak, you know, um, we got swamps. We got Spine Rock Knoll, which is one of the hideaway lands. Smoldering Marsh, another duel. Shadowblood Ridge, a filter duel. Rakdos Carnarium, you know that. Path of Ancestry, Mortuary Mire, Luxury Suite. We all love the Luxury Suite. Geothermal Bog, another duel. I actually like these ones that have the land types that are common that come into play tap. Great card, great card. Very budget friendly, and they're fetchable. So, Forbidden Ruins, I don't mind those, and the Snarls, like I don't mind those at all because yeah, if you're playing like it's very budget friendly, it's a good duel. Exotic Orchard, Command Tower. You know, Exotic Orchard, it's like $1 for a reason, but it's a really good card. And especially since you're playing other people's. Anyways, Bojukabog. Man, good old Bobo. Good old Bobo. You know, we got Blight Step Pathway and Arena of Glory. It's not bad. This deck does its job and does more things than one. Besides the Jeska's will, what changes would you make? What would you do differently? What have you done? Do you have a Prosper deck? You know, because Prosper's really, really good. And he was good when he came out. That precon was the precon to get of those precons. I would dare to say. But yeah, besides Jeska's will, like what changes would you make? What would you do differently? Oh my goodness! Don't forget, it's all about the gathering. I am really trying to get back in the groove of things. I'm also trying to figure out this whole Final Fantasy thing because I like the goal is simple. I would love a preview card, and I'm going to try my best to get on the radar of Wizards of the Coast to get a preview card. So if you haven't been checking out those videos, check them out. My last video, which was as of recording this, because I'm recording this actually on my birthday. But my last video was the which Final Fantasy game to start with, and I really think like a lot of people that aren't that are into Magic that plan on getting into this set should check out one of these games because like I am a big I'm a big fan of just Square Enix in general. Like I love the Final Fantasy games. I love the Mana games, the Saga games, the oh my goodness, like I had back in the day, like I had very, very like especially for the PS1, like all the Square Enix games that we got from them, like oh my goodness, your boy had a bunch of them, and things happen, but it's okay, you know, because we fall down and we get back up, and we're back up, and my neighbor's riding his motorcycle and deciding to rev it up like he just needs to keep revving it. I don't understand, but it's okay. It's okay. Either way it goes, hey, I hope y'all are having a blessed day. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. And as always, man, hey, you know, just be good people. It's all about the gathering, and holla at ya boy. Peace.